And audio. Hello. Oh, let's go into
Hello.
focus. All right.
Hello, everyone.
All right,
Me.
everybody.
Sorry to disappoint, but you got me today. Okay. Oh,
It's okay. They're happy. We had Morgan here yesterday.
that's right. See, exactly. So, quickly. How quickly we declined.
Don't say that.
All right. Well, I'm a beautiful bastard. You're right in one regard. So, shoot. Throw a question. Or I can keep saying hello. I can say hello the entire time.
How about we get the frequently asked stuff out of the way? What you looking forward to this season?
Well, at some point, I'm probably going to be doing the Elder Scrolls V review, which is something I'm both excited for and terrified of, because I need to keep my marriage intact during the course of playing that game, which I don't know how that's done. And maybe I'll have a cottage industry on the side about how you can play a game like that and be able to maintain a relationship. What did you like this year with the Tokyo Game Show? I didn't go. There was very little, unfortunately, to like. It was about as inclusive in a Tokyo Game Show as there has been, I think, due in some part to what has sort of come out of the tsunami and the earthquake, but also kind of an inward-looking quality to the Japanese game industry that just has been shrinking and can't seem to keep that same market as strong as it was about 10 years ago. Let's see. Can you fax me a bowl of soup? I would love to. But that would mean I would have soup, and I'm not inclined to share when I have soup. What are you doing now that you're not hosting feedback? Taking a little more time for myself. How about that? Getting to play Elder Scrolls V Skyrim and reviewing it for people. Ha ha ha. That will also help facilitate that.
If you ever want to scroll up, all
scroll up. Okay.
Click that arrow there.
All right.
And then when you're done, just click the other one to scroll back down.
Did I just wake up? No, I just came from my Twitter fest, which makes my eyes hurt sometimes.
It's been Sessler Day all day.
Yes. Let's see.
Speaking of which, I now own a pair of Gunners. Partially.
Yeah, I was about to say, thankfully I wear them when I do that. But I have not started playing Skyrim, just so everyone knows. I played it at PAX and at some other events. It's always a tough one to play for 45 minutes because the nature of the game is to get yourself lost in it for hours upon hours on end and not to feel like you have to get off of it at some time. Having said that, having the dual wielding really changes that sense of dynamic, and the world itself really struck me as beautiful. So I cannot wait. Gunners, there's some eyewear. They have these yellow lenses, and they ease eye strain if you're sitting in front of a monitor for an extended period of time, as I have been today. They really are good if you're playing games and you're doing kind of a nasty, long gaming session. What TV shows do you watch regularly? The news. No, I used to. I can't take the news anymore. Bunch of screaming people. Arkham City's badass level. You're going to kill me. I was reviewing another game that you'll find out about on Monday. So I've only gotten a little bit into Arkham City. I just like that. I like the look of the world. It's big. It's gothic. We played a lot of open world games, and it occurred to me I haven't played one that is of that tone and of that kind of, well, it's a very dirty place. And it's nice to play in a dirty place because it's better than being in a dirty place. Let's see. Any news on Modern Warfare 3? It's coming out in November. And at least that Activision, for whatever reason, decides to just kind of be quiet and look dignified with their game rather than EA's kind of rather juvenile antics in terms of their marketing strategy, which, they got to put their money where their mouth is, and I'm not 100% they can. Will the 49ers win the Super Bowl this year? Am I going to grow my hair back? Demon's Souls is too hard. Any tips? Nope. Demon's Souls is too hard. It is. Even I have been like, wow. Okay. I'm a Kesha fan? No. Do I take vitamins? I do. Once again, the benefit of having a spouse is being told you need to do things like take vitamins because I would not do it on my own. What is my favorite retro console? Everyone wants me to say the Dreamcast, but I still think that actually there's far too many games on the Dreamcast I don't want to play again. I miss the N64 because they still have big, chunky games I could just play for hours on end. What are your thoughts about unicorns that vomit technology? We could use more of them.
Well, there's one right behind you.
Oh, really?
Right there.
Oh.
That's one of our old promos.
Oh, that is one of the unicorns.
And the robot. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I remember those. Yes. Well, Sony remake Vagrant Story. It's actually Square's game. And you know how they kind of tease people with the idea that they would remake Final Fantasy VII, that massive genre-defining hit, and they never remade that. So I would love to see a Vagrant Story. I think it was their best thing from that era. But no. No. Any anticipating film you want to watch this year? Yes, I really want to see Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy because I'm a big nerd. Besides Ghosts and Goblins game, you keep talking about, what's the most difficult game you ever played? Other than Ghosts and Goblins, well, Demon Souls and Dark Souls is right up there. Let me think if there's anything else that was actually fun. That was a really hard game. So I can think of MDK2, but you can only get so far in that game before you want to just throttle someone. And ironically, that game was made by BioWare, back before they were BioWare. Can I be your biggest douche and ask when Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming? You did.
Congratulations. You are the biggest douche in the chat.
Do you have an Xbox 360? Should I have my job if I didn't have an Xbox 360? I'm just going to put it out that way. Favorite book in the past 4 years. I think I read this in the past 4 years. It was called Absurdistan by Gary Stuyvesant. I love this book. It's absolutely, he's actually the great-great-great-grandson of Nikolai Gogol, and it definitely has that same absurdist tone. It's about an incredibly fat man who is clearly based on Dostoevsky's The Idiot. Zyper. Yes. I should just read these out loud, and it would be kind of a tone poem. Not a good one, but it would be one. How much coverage will you be doing on BlizzCon? Well, I'm going tomorrow, and I think I have like 5 or 6 interviews. The coverage of BlizzCon really is predicated on what they announce at BlizzCon, and Blizzard doesn't tell us what they're going to announce. They wait to announce it, so even I don't know the answer to that question. And man, will there be X-Play the Musical 2? No, we're on a green screen because of X-Play the Musical. What class you're planning to play for Skyrim? I don't know. I don't have to pick a class at the beginning, which I'm happy about, because I do want to use magic, but I don't want to have a sole magic character, and I really do want to try out the melee combat, since that looks like it's finally gotten to the visceral level that is essential, that really was lacking in Oblivion and Morrowind. Guild Wars 2 or Diablo 3? Why not both? Just saying.
That's what I always say.
Do you play Call of Duty Black Ops? I did. No, not anymore. I'll be frank. I don't have enough time to plan sessions with a lot of friends of mine, and I will not play publicly with people because it is appalling how people behave. Let's see. Do you think the next gen console should be coming now? No, I think they should be coming in 2014, when I bet you they are going to come.
Why is that? Why do you think they should wait?
The games are fine. The only thing I wish would change right now with this generation is there are too many sequels, and there are too many sequels coming too soon after the game that they are succeeding. But having said that, I don't think that there's any. We've already maximized. We haven't fully maximized the technology. I don't care how much better a game can look. I care more about what the art direction is, and we can still keep costs of games down if people aren't spending research and development capital into figuring out how to use the new technology. All of us should want to not have to buy a new console right now. How safe is the Kinect? Safe as you make it, man. Just, you put it on your TV and not somewhere else, you shouldn't be too dangerous. Do you know what COD Elite is? It is Facebook with COD. That is the easiest way, but it's really cool. There's a bunch of stuff up on the website. For me to explain it now, well, I should be getting money from Activision. Do you know why Activision refused to give Modern Warfare 3 dedicated servers on the Xbox 360? Not 100%, but I bet it's not just Activision. It has a lot to do with Xbox Live. At least you don't have a controller. No, but I have one. In fact, I got a new one yesterday. It's kind of cool. The Batman controller. This is Batarang. And it's probably not a good idea because it usually says you should throw it. It's like, oh no, it's got 6 axes. No, it doesn't. That's that other system. And that was stupid. Who is your favorite author? I got a few. My big favorite is Paul Bowles, who wrote The Sheltering Sky. But my lifelong love is Joseph Conrad. But then if I'm in a certain type of mood, I like to read the essays of H.L. Mencken. So I could talk about that for hours. What a nerd. Do you watch WWE? No. What do you think the best game innovation will be 10 years from now? Quality games more consistently?
That would be nice. That would be real nice.
What is your favorite sandwich? Corned beef. Or pastrami if it's from Langer's here in L.A. Then that is my most favorite sandwich in the entire world.
I usually go to like
Langer's is, Canner's is good corned beef. Mm-hmm. Langer's is out. It's not the best part of town. 8th okay. and... Like 8th and... Yeah, it's Little El Salvador. This is Jewish deli in the middle. Absolutely the best pastrami on the planet. Will I play iOS games if they support gamepads? No, because it has no reason to be on that platform if it supports gamepad. Do you think Mayweather beef versus Pacquiao will ever happen? I honestly don't know. I need it to happen. I want closure in this idiocy. But no, he's going to find a way to delay it one more time. What franchises do you think should just die off or shouldn't have changed? I'm glad that Resident Evil changed, and then it didn't change again for Resident Evil 5. Some franchises probably need to die. If you can't make a good Sonic game, don't make a Sonic game. That's what I say. How did you get started reviewing games? I got a job. I hate to say it. It wasn't something I was actively pursuing. It just happened. What's the schooling life for game programmers you talk to? Are university trying to push a master's certificate in game design? I've looked into a couple of programs. I'm actually somewhat affiliated with the Guildhall at SMU out in Dallas. I am very affectionate for that program. I think you need to look for a program that does not just teach you the nuts and bolts of how you make a game, but gets you to understand how to work with a team, how to work creatively with a group of people, and to think more objectively about game design and the prats and pitfalls. So it's not just, hey, how do I make this level? You got to learn to think creatively. What is G4? I don't know. Do you ever regret a review on X-Play? No, not on the whole. I sometimes have changed my mind on games that much, not that much, because games really only seem to work in a moment because the technology and game design changes so rapidly over time that things that were wonderful in the moment do start to feel antiquated, and like your muscle memory isn't as well attuned to be able to play an older game as your contemporary game. Do you think any games are going to come out that will justify my purchase of the Kinect? Bluntly, no. I think the Kinect is fine for families. I have no issue with it, but I think that Microsoft betting the farm on it is the same thing that Nintendo did with the Wii. Casual gamers are casual because they don't play games much. It's not a good place to build a market on. Who's going to win Project Runway? I don't want that Josh guy to do it. Okay, he drives me crazy. I don't know why he's made it this far. Let's see. Are they working on a sequel to Final Fantasy 13?
Yeah.
Yes. Watch X-Play soon. That's all I'm going to tell you. Battlefield 3 is going to be amazing. What's your opinion on it? I don't know if it's going to be amazing. It looks fine. It looks beautiful. Still can't figure out if the multiplayer is going to work or not. I'm really curious about the single player because I still don't know if it's going to be different from Call of Duty, but will it actually be fun? I'm backing off on making a judgment on that. Are Ugg boots so last season? Ugg boots are like 5-6 years ago. Stop wearing them. You look like an idiot. Is it true that Free Radicals said they won't make Time Splitter 4 until next generation? We were looking for Time Splitters 4? Okay. I mean, they always like to launch systems with the Time Splitters, and then we forget about Time Splitters. Yeah, I would love to be on Hardwick's thing. He's just never asked me. So you can bug him for me. He'll love me for you doing that. Owen, will you marry me? Sorry. Let's see. Hold on, there was something up there I kind of liked. Is it? I've never seen you on Soapbox Feedback or AOTS anywhere else where you weren't looking tired. Probably because I am. I have this horrible habit of working out too hard in the morning before I come in and not eating enough food. So, I decided to take up boxing as a...
Pull it all the way down.
Oh, all the way down? Mm-hmm. There we go.
There you go.
As a form of exercise. And let's just say my coach, he has no sympathy for anything you have to do for the rest of the day. Let's see. What's your opinion on the potential of the Wii U? I don't know. I honestly am a little suspicious if they really have a system that developers know what they want to do with it and they can really carve out a brand new market. They are trying to act like they're trying to serve all people at all times, and that's also that's just not a very good strategy either. I mean, at the very least, what Microsoft and Sony have done, they went for the hardcore, got it into people's homes, and then built it more casually. This idea that you're going to get into someone's home all at once and try to make everybody happy sounds very, very challenging. I think sometimes Nintendo gets a little bit too in love with the sound of their own kind of utopian ideals and never looks at the hard practical realities of trying to apply it and make a good game out of it. Yeah, Rage did end bad. I was telling you guys that. No one seemed to understand that. When I said bad, I meant really, really bad. Like, someone turned off the lights and the power in the country. What's your favorite gaming franchise? I wonder. Elder Scrolls I love. I love Assassin's Creed. I don't have a favorite one. We'll actually do a show in San Francisco again. We do it in GDC. I think if we auction off a couple of interns, we can have a budget to travel. So
we do get interns every season.
Yeah, so, that's what I'm hoping for. Let's see. If you can travel back in the past, where would you go and why? God, that's a good question. That's a really good question.
You had a TARDIS.
There's so many things I would want to do. Part of me would love to go to Victorian England and hunt for Jack the Ripper. Another part of me would really like to better understand what Caravaggio was like, because that guy was interesting. And, just hang out with the Russian czars for a weekend to be like, dude, I kind of get what's going to happen to you. History sounds so much more exciting than the present day. They didn't have cubicles in history. Do you think the 3DS will see a remodel? Yeah. Yay. What's with the new GTA 3 10th anniversary trailer? They said it wasn't for... I heard it was supposed to be for iPad. I do not know how you're going to play GTA 3 on the iPad. I can barely play it on the PS2. Will they ever make another Abe's Oddworld? I would love them to, but I'm not... it sounds like Lord Landing is getting back in the game, so maybe we'll get something in that wonderful, wonderful, wonderful world. What are next week's lottery numbers? 5. What actually happened at Tunguska? Really big burrito. Big. Let's see. Opinions on Arkham City. It's a damn good game. Still don't like how the game begins. I think if you have open world games that are not an established franchise, you need to do something. You need to be a little bit more generous to your players to alert them to what is available, what you can do immediately, and what you can't do. Because guess what? I didn't know if you dive bombed, you could go back up again. So I'm trying to do those AR things with the rings. And also, another thing, if you're doing a superhero game, don't put rings in it. I don't care if it's just a side quest. Don't ever bring back the memory of a Superman 64. Anyway, I didn't know you could go down and back up. Why? I don't know. I'm a fan of gravity. So I tried doing that for 25 minutes, and then finally I realized what you had to do after calling 3 people. Ugh, I want those 25 minutes back. I could spend it on the toilet. Thoughts on Skyward Sword? I'm not thinking about it much. That's actually what I can say about Skyward Sword. Let's see. My rants are always enjoyable. That's pretty much my form of dialect, so it's good. Because if you don't like rant, I mean, it's just like, slow and cogent just is not my skill. Will you be going to PAX East 2012? I assume so. They usually send me there. Yeah, guys, I don't even think about 2012 when you're at this part of 2011 and all the games are coming out. I'm dealing with next week. It kind of scares me, the idea of getting to it. Would you pay for a Mario or Zelda Special Edition 3DS? No, because those games play better on a television. Nothing is made more fun by making it smaller in my hand. It just doesn't do it for me. I like to turn off the world and play my games, and when I'm out in the world, I like to pay attention to other people. And if I'm not doing one of those two, I like to read a book. So, there you have it. Yes, November 8th through 11th will be tough on everybody's wallet. That is, and then you got the following week, you got Assassins. It's brutal. It's brutal. It's brutal. Is UCLA better than Cal? Hell yeah. All right? I'm just going to say it. Yes. And I grew up in Berkeley. And I chose to go to school at UCLA. I was accepted at Berkeley. I think the same thing was true for Morgan, too. She just went the opposite direction. You said a bad word.
It's okay.
Yes.
We can say bad words here.
Next Tuesday, the most amazing game in the world comes out. What is it?
Which one?
What comes out next Tuesday? Forgive me, guys. I actually don't know exactly when games come out, because I know when I'm getting games to review them for when they come out. I am so excited about Rayman Origins. I am so excited. That game is just an eyeful of happy, which is not something you get enough of in video games these days. Who drew the Master Chief behind you?
That was Sebastian from our
Sebastian.
Mailroom, who does all the...
From our mailroom. Haha. Oh, Battlefield 3 comes out next Tuesday. No, I'm not the best game in the world. Any best game in the world probably isn't involving me having to shoot other human beings. since you're sharing office with E, how long do you branch into fashion reviewing? Wouldn't that be fun? You know?
Fashion and video games.
I would probably host a show called Why Do You Suck? And just kind of yell at people for how they choose to, dress, like in Uggs and shorts. Because that's just like, say, oh no, there might be a freaking igloo showing up and I want to be appropriately dressed for that. Will Modern Warfare 3 sell better than Battlefield 3? Yes, I will put money on that one. No, yes, Modern Warfare will outsell Battlefield. Crocs with socks. Crocs across the board. Don't wear them. Really. You're an adult. Don't wear them. Even if you're a child, tie a shoe. Tie a shoe. Do it. Yes, if I could do a special with Lewis Black, I'd probably finally just die happy. Hell, I'd finally be happy. Ironic. Is Ace Combat Assault Horizon any good? I will ask the man who is kind of our specialist in that field. Do you think Fall of Cybertron will be as good as War for Cybertron? Sure. Why not? Something to aspire to, I think. Oh, the Can You Fly Cliffy thing? Can you fly, Cliffy? I mean, the opportunity, that was really annoying that I came in for like just that one sketch, but the opportunity to play Clarence Boddicker was so appealing to me. I could not resist because that is just, even when I was a kid, I'm that old. I saw RoboCop in the theater and I know I saw the X-rated version of it. And I love that movie so much, and what I thought was so awesome is a bad guy could be called Clarence. It just teaches us that, you can be anything you want to be, and just the name or your background cannot hold you back from being a complete dick. See? What do I think of Sly 4? I'm very excited for Sly 4. Even though it's not being made by Sucker Punch, it is being made by the guys who did the HD adaptation. They seem to live, breathe, and they understand Sly in their blood. I'm very excited for it. You can't ask me questions about my contract. Except for Jeeves, you have to be a butler if your name is Jeeves. I know, but you can break out of that. There is a way to not be a butler named Jeeves and actually have a butler named Horace. And you're somebody else. I don't know.
Can you be named Jeeves and have a job that's not being a butler?
I think so. How do you get a name like Jeeves? I think your mom's like, I don't know, we can call him Constantine or Quasimodo. Oh, Jeeves. Jeeves will be good. Jeeves will be really good. Any idea if there's going to be a GTA 5? People like money. Always, before you ask if there's going to be a sequel to something, ask yourself, do they like money? Do they like making it? Yes. Your parents are butlers. Is that an insult? I can't tell. No, they're social workers. It's the world's butler. Any thoughts on Kid Icarus Uprising? It doesn't look like Kid Icarus, even though I wouldn't want to play the old Kid Icarus again. So it's just kind of a weird conundrum you get with some of these ancient franchises being, we all want them. Ooh, I want to re-experience that, but I don't want to re-experience it like I experienced it. But if it's not like that experience, how do I think it's supposed to be like that? I don't know. It's a conundrum. Ask for things that are new. No, Halo Reach was the last Halo made by Bungie. The new Halos are being made by 343 Industries, which is owned wholly by Microsoft. I know a lot of the guys that work there. And that says August 29th. That's my birthday. And Michael Jackson's. And Jerry Lewis's. In that regard, I would like to say the three of us round out America's favorite entertainers. Think about it. Let's see. I love you too, whoever you are. Do you think Skyrim will sell as good as Oblivion? It will sell better. It will probably exceed Fallout 3. And one of the things that I think is so cool is that Bethesda is one of those companies that can make a game like that seems to run contrary to all sense of what is going to be successful in the marketplace. They do it, they spend the money on it, they give the developers time on it, and boom, they make ducats off of it. It's a very happy chain of events. Are you okay with having fans that love you? Sure. No, I only want them to hate me. No, I'm not like the guy at the end of Camus, the stranger wanting their execrations of hate. No, I want love too. Just a little bit. Not too much. Then it gets creepy. Let's see. X-Play Zombies 2. What did I say about the musical? That's why we're on a green screen. Assassin's Creed Revelations is what I'm waiting for. I love the Assassins franchise, that even though I'm complaining about how many sequels there are, then there's Assassins. It's just, now it's become comforting to revisit it every single year. I don't know what they have in that formula. It's just like, oh, good, here's my time. I'm going to spend the next 2 days finding treasure, and then I will have a very strange adventure involving sci-fi and history. Do I have any news for Halo 4? No. No. If I had news, trust me, I'd tell you. I'm never in the mood to withhold things. What do I think of the X-Files? It was good for a few years. Everyone who keeps on saying, where's Assassin's Creed 3? I don't know anything. Next year is 2012. You know, the whole Mayan calendar. Did you pay attention to the story in the game? Think about it.
Dun, dun.
I just posted a status about you on Facebook, and my friend commented saying gay. That's such a new insult against me.
Oh,
In fact, somebody tried to say that I was so gay that I really didn't have a wife and she was a decoy like Ava Braun. Now, we know a lot of people who we believe have beards. This was a decoy. And when they came up with the, they called me Hitler and she was my girlfriend. It's on Wikipedia. You got to go watch this to read the discussion section on Wikipedia about me. It is. I don't think I have laughed as hard about that in my life. There's another part about how I actually lost my hand. Below that is a section called credibility as a reviewer. One begets the other. Let's see. Are you Tom Hanks in a model's body? That might be one of the nicest. I like that one. I'm gonna put that in my pipe and save it to smoke for later. So you're saying you're a sideline? Yes, I am.
What do you think about the whole possibility of Ezio appearing in Soul Calibur?
Oh yeah, I heard this. Ezio's appearing in Soul Calibur. Fighting games are so, and you know what? And this is the same I feel about multiplayer for really strong single player games. Now, Assassin's Creed did it right. I don't like seeing characters that I've come to really love, and obviously you're kind of playing that character, so you have some sort of other level of affection for them, sort of being thrown into these kind of cartoonish worlds like fighting games. It just kind of shows that, it gives the impression that those who are beholden to the character, who are controlling the character and own it, seem to be very frivolous and don't seem to have the level of respect for the character that you, the player, seem to actually have. I don't like Soul Calibur characters in a Soul Calibur game. I just kind of, I don't know. Am I going to buy the Golden Zelda bundle? I don't know. Maybe I will. Is that one of those things that is never available except for the first few days? Because I am not going to wait in line to get something because they didn't make enough of it. That is just, I'm too old for that. Just like I don't understand people that wait in line at the Apple Store where you can buy it online. Any people that I do interviews with that I'm friends outside of the industry? Yes, I am. And still I can give their games a bad score. And I've done it, and it ain't a good day for me. I saw you in person last week, but you didn't notice me, but I waved. I assume you're waving at somebody important. I have done that so many times. I have waved back too many times thinking I was being waved at, only to know that is the biggest jackass feeling you can possibly have. And I just can't go through the day with that guilt. So I apologize. When you wave next time, be 2 feet in front of me and point. Then I will know.
Maybe use his name.
Or you can yell my name out. But then I'll probably think that you have a friend named Adam. And I'm like, no, yeah. I don't think the new Duke Nukem game was a waste of time. If you play that game, and granted, it was too expensive for what it was. If you play that game as a document of the history of shooters, because if the game was to come out in 1999, it would have been a novelty beyond all games, because physics like that did not exist back then. All the things that they seem to be so fetishizing in it, which are just so passé now, hadn't been done yet, and you get a very good sense of where the shooter has evolved and what was really some of the biggest ambitions during the time when shooters were really just kind of regurgitating the exact same thing. If you plan to work in game design, I do think you should play that game. Don't consider it a game from 2011. Consider it a game from 1999. Do you think Nintendo was on their last leg? No, it was one of the most cash-rich companies out there. They could just maybe get a crutch right now. You made me... Oh, I'm not going to say that out loud.
Thank you.
Just know that you're always important no matter who waves at you. I like that. But, what if Gaddafi was waving at me? How am I supposed to feel then? I'm like, well, dude, stop. It's like Kim Jong-il. And he's like, hey, I'm not even doing that crazy semaphore stuff we do out here. Yes, Gaddafi is dead. That's why I brought him up, kids. Yeah, I noticed I was one down on my Twitter followers. Let's see. Do you see Nintendo going the same way Sega did? As I said, no, I really don't think so. I just think that they might need to talk to some of their people both in Europe and in America and get a better understanding of what those markets are that are essential to making them successful. I used to watch Doctor Who. I do not watch it anymore. Let's see. Yes, Battlefield 3 is coming out next week. We'll see how it works because I know nothing. Like nothing. Does Blair Herder actually sleep under a desk? No, we needed to use the desk to put in the X-Play fireplace because they turned off our heat. So he just sleeps on an open carpet. Played a little bit of Skyward Sword. That was 2 years ago. Didn't like it. I think they changed it considerably, so I don't want to kind of opine too much on that. What has been my most favorite gaming event you've attended? You're not going to like this. I love going to the DICE conference because it's really small and quiet, and I get to see people that I don't get to see for the rest of the year. Yeah. What year is your favorite E3? 4 years ago, the first time we did like 25 hours live, and it was my crackpot idea to try to pull that off. And I actually thought we were going to fail miserably, and we didn't. And I believed in myself for like 25 minutes. Yes, I did say a fireplace. Sure, Obi-Wan Kazboozy. Feel free. Do you think Modern Warfare 3 is worth the money? Yes, I do. I think that's a fair price for the amount of content you're going to get with it. I don't know about the quality of the content, but for the amount. Do I watch Walking Dead? Yes, I could not stand that first episode of the new season. It just felt like they added on an extra 25 minutes for ad time.
Fresh dinner.
Nothing really interesting happened, and you think if you're going to start a new
In the Helmets
season
Chicken Challenge
one
this
of the
week,
highly
time
watched
was of
cable
the essence.
series ever, you
How much
kind
fun
of
am I
make
having? Am I having fun yet? Look at my painting. How much fun is that?
Helmets allows you to create a meal that's got a lot of flavor,
Everything
really
up.
quick, and be able to sit down at the table with your family as opposed to picking it up and driving around in the car.
Super quick.
Super good and super easy.
Check out great recipes for your family,
All right, guys,
and
I'm
then
going to
vote for
probably
your
have
favorite
to
at
start wrapping it
Hellman's.com.
up,
Get the best
but I'll
chicken
take a few
wing.
more questions. All right, guys?
Make them good ones. He's judging
Do you think Ron Paul resembles Bilbo Baggins? No, because Bilbo looks huggable. Yes, I am tired of all the shooters on the market. I would like to, I don't mind the first-person format, but I want stuff that's more interesting, something like a BioShock Infinite out there. Do I hate Final Fantasy? No, because Final Fantasy never came to my house and took my crap. But at the same time, I find Final Fantasy to be very unengaging for me. Equally, I find it to be too definitive for other people's idea of what a game is supposed to be, because I think it's just very narrow on what its ambitions are. Mirror's Edge 2, yay or nay? I wanted the first one to be good. Uncharted 3 thoughts? Read my review on Monday. Which is better, Left 4 Dead or Dead Island? Left 4 Dead. And I'm going to take two more. That is not a comparison of one game against another. What are your thoughts on the lack of button layout customization in games? God, I've never thought of that. I mean, you should be able to do what you want, but there's a reason sometimes that they decided to make it that way. Hottest Halloween costume. All right, I will finish this. I once dressed up for Halloween as a middle manager. I had a mug that said keeping it together and a clipboard and a shirt with sleeves there, but it buttoned up. And I annoyed everyone all Halloween long, and I was asked to go home from the bar for being too talkative. Yes. Think about it, kids. We'll do this again soon. Thank you so much. Obviously, I really appreciate you guys wasting half an hour with me, because I think it was a value to me, because I realize there are people out there that watch the show that aren't my mom. And I hope something good happened for you.
Sometimes
Take care, guys.
All right. Thank you, Adam, so much for coming by.
No problem.
You know how to get back up to the elevator? Just
Oh, I'm
for that. All right. Thank you. Have a good night. All right, everybody. That's it. We'll be back here tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific for more chats. Then next week, I think Monday, we're supposed to have the one, the only, first time on the show ever, Jessica Jobot. We're just going to be so fun. She's like a 2.0 version of me, so it's going to be an interesting chat. But join us back here tomorrow. Hello, camera. And we will see you back then. And till then, bye.